And then there's Karoline Leavett. Speaking of idiots, the blonde bimbo today held another press conference, and every single time she speaks in front of the media, she lies and she looks like the imbecile that she is. So Donald Trump has said on the record that foreign countries are the ones that are going to eat the cost of these tariffs. And a reporter asked her about it and asked her about an actual verbatim statement that Donald Trump made just a few days ago. And Karoline Leavett is very good at playing dumb because she is dumb. Have a listen to this.
Good question. It's Liberation Day.
Yes, it is. Karoline, the president has said foreign countries and companies will eat the cost of tariffs. In his speech on Inauguration Day, he said, quote, instead of taxing our citizens to enrich other countries, we will tariff and tax foreign countries to enrich our citizens.
Right.
So then why did he have to tell the domestic automakers not to raise prices?
Well, that was a private conversation that was had. I'm not sure if that comment was made or was not made. But as for what the president said in his Inauguration Day speech, he's absolutely correct. A tariff will be a tax on these foreign nations, these foreign companies. And if they want to be absolved of that tariff, then they can come here to the United States of America to do business, bring their jobs here.
So she's not sure if that comment was made. It was made. And now, again, she's making the case on these tariffs. No, it's not the American consumers that'll have to pay the price for it. It's the foreign countries that are going to be paying for it. That's also not true. The American consumers are paying, and hit the brunt of it is you and me. Karoline Leavett is an idiot. She also was asked about Signalgate. Remember, this happened less than a week ago. Do we remember how this journalist named Mr. Goldberg was in this Signal chat and highly classified information 30 minutes before a strike was released with the artillery, the timing of it, the types of weaponry, all that information. And somehow this guy named Mr. Goldberg was put in this Signal chat. And Mike Waltz said he doesn't know who this guy is when he's the one who actually put him in the chat, we're learning. So what's the latest on this investigation? Is there going to be any accountability? Can you tell us exactly how this happened? Listen to how Karoline Leavett answers this.
You said case closed yesterday. As that case was closed, do you have anything that you can share about what was learned, how this can be avoided in the future, any sort of findings from that investigation?
The case is closed and the president continues to have confidence in his national security advisor.
They used the Signal chat. There's no, I'm laughing because it's so ridiculous. There's no accountability. Zero. None. This is like it's like a guy who's thinks he's talking to a woman he's cheating on with, and instead he sends the text message to his wife. And don't worry about it, honey. We're not going to put any accountability on it. Although that's not putting our brave men and women at risk. It's maybe ruining a relationship, but there'd be a lot of accountability if that happened, right? Think of a loved one in your life and you accidentally put somebody else in that chat. There probably would be a lot of accountability, right? But we're talking about lives at risk. Think about that for a moment. Lives at risk. And they're saying, case closed. There's nothing to see here. We don't want to talk about it anymore. We're not telling you how it happened. No heads are going to roll. Nobody's going to be fired. Nobody's going to be suspended. We're not answering any more questions on it. Let's move on. Another reason why Karoline Leavett is an imbecile. And then we go back to the tariffs again. And here is Karoline Leavett basically saying Donald Trump is doing everything in his power to make sure that everything is cheap and the cost of living is cheaper for the American people. Meanwhile, the 25% tariffs killing the Dow, which was down 900 points again the other day, killing the fact that our wonderful people in this country, some of whom are struggling, living paycheck to paycheck. It's killing the American consumer. Gas prices are up throughout the country. Inflation is up throughout the country. I'm talking since day one, since Donald Trump took office. I don't care if it's down the last week or two. I'm talking about since day one. The war in Ukraine is still going on. The Israel-Palestinian conflict is certainly no better now than it was on day one. But Karoline Leavett is saying Trump is doing everything to help the American people.
Karoline.
Sure.
Karoline,
Sure.
The president said over the weekend that he couldn't care less if prices went up on foreign cars because people will buy more American cars. There's been consensus from a lot of economists that these tariffs could raise prices on other goods as well. Is the president comfortable with Americans on Main Street paying more because of these tariffs?
The president is doing everything he can, and this entire administration is doing everything we can to bring down the cost of living in this country. An inflation mess that was fueled by the previous administration's reckless spending, over burdensome regulations that this administration is focused on slashing every single day. I just read you a statistic just from the Environmental Protective Agency alone. We're saving taxpayers money that's ultimately going to drive down inflation, and we're unleashing the might of our energy industry, which will bring down prices as well. To the heart of your question, because this is very important to the American people, you should trust what this president did for you in his first term. He effectively utilized tariffs while driving down inflation. It was a record low 1.4% when he left office, and he's focused on getting back to that. It's unfortunate the previous administration left us in this mess.
Yeah. What mess was that, Karoline? What mess are you referring to? We should trust the president, what he did in the first, what's that, in the first administration? What, getting us $8.2 trillion in debt? We should trust him. I agree with you there. We should certainly trust him to get us at least $8 trillion in debt again. So I agree with that. Should we trust the president like last time around when he made false promises to the American people? Whether this time when he said no tax on tips or he's going to end the war in 24 hours. Last time when he said he was going to hire a special prosecutor to go after Hillary Clinton. We're going to build a wall and Mexico's going to pay for it. How did that work out? How did COVID work out? Did he protect the American people from COVID? We had more deaths in this country than almost any other country in the world per capita. But we should trust the president. That's like asking women to trust Donald Trump in relationships. That's like someone who is a habitual liar who's cheated on every single woman he's ever been with. That is Donald Trump, by the way. And then a new woman in a relationship with Donald Trump or contemplating a relationship saying you should trust the president with the way he's treated women in the past. That's exactly what Karoline Leavett is saying, only it affects all of us because she's talking about the country. The country should certainly respect and believe the president based on what he did in that first administration. Again, it's like saying a woman should trust Donald Trump for being faithful to her. It's the exact same thing. I'm going to use the exact analogy there. It's ridiculous and it's laughable. And then there comes the judge who has ruled against Donald Trump, especially when it comes to these alleged gang members and alleged undocumented immigrants that were sent to this El Salvador prison, right? Over 260 of them put in there, and we're learning some of those people were not only gang members, but some of those people have never committed a crime in their life. They're all deported. They're sent to this El Salvador prison, and all we've heard from the White House, well, we think they were gang members because they had those tattoos. And they're sent to one of the most highest maximum security prisons in the world. So Karoline Leavett is asked about this judge and a judge that ruled against at least one individual that should still be in this country. That person is in an El Salvador prison in maximum security. And I want you to listen to how stupid Karoline Leavett is. Yes, we know she's an imbecile, but she's also very stupid. The blonde bimbo, listen to her response to that.
This administration is going to continue to deport foreign terrorists and illegal criminals from our nation's interior.
But a judge ordered that he should remain in this country. So are you saying that it is okay to ignore a judge's ruling if you don't like it?
Who does that judge work for?
He's an immigration
It was an
judge.
immigration judge who works for the Department of Justice at the direction of the Attorney General of the United States, whose name is Pam Bondi, who has committed to eradicating MS-13 from our nation's interior.
Okay, so hold on a second. Let me just think this one through. So because a judge is, any judge apparently, is working under Donald Trump, that means they have to rule in favor of Donald Trump's agenda every single time. And if they rule against it, they're going to attack the judge's family. The judge works for Donald Trump. So in that case, I guess those Hunter Biden charges should have never happened because apparently that was a judge that was working under Joe Biden's DOJ, right? Does that make sense? No, it doesn't, because Karoline Leavett is an imbecile. But according to her, if there's a judge that works under a Republican president, and if that judge rules against the president in any way, shape, or form, the argument is, well, that's unconstitutional because that judge works for Donald Trump's DOJ and Pam Bondi, so they have to rule in favor of everything that Donald Trump does in his agenda. Again, it's the dumbest argument I've ever heard in my life. It makes absolutely no sense. It is, again, she is a colossal imbecile beyond the stretch of the imagination how stupid she is. And the fact that some people in America buy this BS is a joke.